Mond showing out in the Senior Bowl.
Resident GM Nick Wright, are you listening? Lost in the shuffle because of the Matthew Stafford trade this weekend. Was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. Like, this guy, Kellen Mond, lit it up. And I said this, a month ago? I highlighted him on But First. And I said, this dude will be the steal in the draft. I'm telling you, Nick, everybody needs to move this guy up on their board. They need to take him from a second-day guy to probably the end of the first round. If you need a quarterback, if you want a guy that can come in and compete right away, this is your guy. Let it come back in the Senior Bowl, all right? Beautifully. Like 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. Absolutely love him, resident GM, Kellen Mond.
See, there you go. That's the type of analysis that America is looking for. Here's what we're not looking for.
What is
Your old buddy, Kevin Wildes, woke up doing some research for the show, goes on to Bleacher Report and sees this article. Former NFL wide receiver Brandon Marshall says he'd outclass Deontay Wilder in a fight. I've been publicly against this. I've been privately against this. I pulled Brandon aside, even though I've actually never been in the same room with him. Here's another quote from him. No, I don't have a win under my belt, or a loss, or a knockout. So when I was against it, I was like, Brandon, this isn't good. This is dangerous. He's a professional fighter. Wrong tact for me, Nick. I should have appealed to Brandon's ego. Be like, Brandon, you're undefeated, dude. There's no reason to take any risk here and put a blemish on your perfect record. So that's my new tag. Brandon, you're Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Guys, it's worse than you think. I'm gonna play for you some audio from our dear friend and colleague, Brandon Marshall. Please just hit it. Please.
Deontay Wilder, obviously, we know him for his power. I mean, he's a freak athlete. But what I would say is I would challenge Deontay Wilder to dive a little deeper into the sweet science. And that's where I think I separate myself from a lot of these heavyweights is the sweet science. I'm going to outbox him. I'm going to outclass him if I ever get that opportunity. And I'll say this, too. You know, if it doesn't happen before September, I'm going to retire.
Grand opening, grand closing. Brandon Marshall threatening his retirement from a sport he's never actually participated in. Brandon, I watched this entire interview. I don't doubt your sincerity. I do doubt your sanity. You, at one point in the interview, said you would need to fight Wilder as a warm-up to fight someone else. Brandon, what if he says yes?
James Wilson is the real dog.
Yeah, James Wilson. You're not worried about Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. James Wilson, who must be a Sasquatch because he's the only person you're afraid of. Brandon, you have now this is an exploding offer. You have said if it doesn't happen by September, you're retiring. What if he says he's doing this? What if he says yes?
Then we're doing it, Nick.
He hasn't thought that
far. Then we're doing it,
He hasn't gotten that far.
It's the same thing. Did you back down to the Buffalo Mafia? Did you back down? I'm not going to back down.
They couldn't literally kill me. Brandon, he's
you know how many street fights I've been in? You know how many street fights? They have gloves on. It's easy. That's easy. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old.
You're talking about the sweet science.
Well, I feel like we're not going to get to the bottom of that. So instead, I'll take you through my own personal life to tell you why Tom Brady is, in fact, the true GOAT. Quick story. Last night, I'm getting ready for bed. I say to my family, good night, everyone. I'm going to go prepare for the show. Steph says to me, can you just quickly get water bottles for the girls? Fine. I fill up the water bottles. I give them their water bottles by their bed. The 7-year-old. Mom, can you tell me a quick story? Tell her a quick story. I'm like, goodbye. The little one, the 5-year-old. Mom, can you tuck me in? By the time I got into bed, I was exhausted. I prepared nothing for the show and I fell asleep. My mistake? Not pulling a Tom Brady. Ahead of the Super Bowl, instead of going to one of the bedrooms in his palatial estate down in Tampa, he has literally sent his family away for what will be 12 days ahead of the Super Bowl. Instead of finding quiet time to sleep and stretch and scheme, he sent his entire family out of the house so he could have his 250,000 square foot palatial house so he could do all of his work. That And only that is why he is the true GOAT. Not the football, not anything else. That's why Tom Brady can call himself the
still
GOAT.
there,
He
Jen?
knows when it's about
Antonio
him.
Brown still
I'm sorry, Jenna.
in the house?
Tom Brady's house went from a studio apartment size to the size of the Superdome. It was there is no house that's either of those sizes.
Within 40 seconds. Within 40 seconds.
Yeah,
We are 5 days removed from said Super Bowl. In that gigantic